man. So today we are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All right, we are talking about how to build a $1 million adult day business. Right here, Shady Side. We're giving away all the strategies for aspiring adult day entrepreneurs on how to build a $1 million adult day business right here in this room. So join me, let's go, baby.
I need you guys to do me a favor. You know, we gotta like spread this awareness of adult day, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna get us on the social media, on the interwebs. Okay. So we're gonna on three. We're gonna yell "Adult Day rocks." All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Adult Day rocks! Woo! All right. We're gonna make you YouTube famous. My name is Chris Channa. I'm the founder and CEO of Active Age, and we are an adult day club. We're an adult day club franchise. We have 2 locations in Florida, and right now we are offering franchises and awarding franchises across the country. Our goal ultimately is to focus on the private pay model. We're focused on the senior population, and we're really trying to, help elevate the status of adult day so that it is recognizable like home care and assisted living. I really come from a place of actually a caregiver. I was sales and marketing, I was operations, I was finance, I was the caregiver, I was the cook, I was the housekeeper, I did it all. And so, a lot of times when we're starting in this business for the first time, or if we're in a certain stage of our business, our roles might be very different, and it's important for us to understand what are our skill sets and who should we hire for and how do we break those things up. And so today, even though we're talking more primarily about the business side of it, I think it's important to know that this conference is great. Everyone is trying to get into this field because they want to make a difference in someone else's life, and they have huge hearts, and that's the important part, right? We all have really big hearts, and that's the foundation for what we're trying to build. But at the same time, if we really want to make an impact on the world, and we want to be have a sustainable business, and we want to support our families, and we want to do more good, and we want to take care of our employees, we have to understand what it is to have margin, and to fulfill that mission. And so therefore we gotta step back from the care side of it for a moment and understand the business side of it. 3 core competencies of business is sales and marketing, operations, and finance, okay? And sales and marketing it's really 2 different things, right? Because marketing is creating awareness about the brand, but marketing is something that you're doing that's external, right? You're out there, you're meeting with case managers, social workers, discharge planners. You're getting to build relationships, right? But that's great and all. That might generate leads to your center, but then there's a sales component to it, right? So this is outside, now you get to sales. Who's turning those leads into customers? And are they effective at it? What does that process look like, right? Operations, who's running the show, okay? Do they have leadership skills? Can they hold people accountable? Can they hold themselves accountable? Are they, at the end of the day, the person that's in charge of operations is setting the tone for the culture. So what type of culture are they creating? What type of culture do you want? The operations person is quality control. They're identifying inefficiencies in operations, whether it's too much staff, not enough staff, too much food, food waste, these types of things. They're the ones that are right there experiencing all of those things. They're the ones that are making these decisions or have these observations. Finance, that person overseeing billing, invoicing, accounts payable, accounts receivable, financial reporting, projections, just depending on where you're at, and what stage that you're in. This is something that when I learned this, it helped give me confidence to spend more money on advertising because I knew what the return on investment would be. When it comes to the lifetime value of a customer, only you will know that. And you would only know that over time if you've been in business for a long enough period of time to actually know how long people stay with you. But say that person on average spends about 18 months with us. Now that's true in our case. That might be different again for you guys. But we have some people that have been with us for 3 years, some people have been with us for 8 months. So the average of all of that is around 18 months. The other thing to take into consideration is knowing your margin. So do you have a 20% profit margin, a 30% profit margin, a 15% profit margin, a 10% profit margin? What is your profit margin? But now let's come over to customer acquisition cost, okay? Because this is the input side. This is what it costs you to acquire that customer. So if you spend $1,500 on advertising, maybe it's $500 on Google Ads. It's $500 on a magazine ad. when you talk about the number of new customers that come in the door, right? These are people that have actually turned into customers over that same period of time that you spent that money, right? So now we're gonna, between all of those different advertising expenses, we're gonna be able to figure out that we actually spent $300 per customer. So we spent $1,500 to acquire 5 customers, which means the customer acquisition cost is $300, right? So if I know that, and I know that average customer is gonna spend, $18,000 with us, but we're gonna net on that $3,600, now I have all the confidence in the world that if I spend money on advertising and I spend more money on advertising, that it's gonna offer a 12x return on my investment. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.